Hello, guys. Welcome again to the Word of Life. We are going to continue on some characteristics of living things. We have already said something about movement. Today, we are going to talk about respiration. Now, respiration is the chemical activities of cells by which glucose is being broken down into similar particles controlled by enzymes to release energy and heat. Okay, then the energy that is released at the respiratory process is called the adenosine triphosphate or the ATP. It is actually an enzymatic reaction by which it's carried out within the cells. Okay, that is the reason why it is called cellular respiration. Now, respiration is divided into two. We have internal respiration and external respiration. The internal respiration is the one that I just defined as the chemical activities of cells. Why the external respiration is the exchange of gases between the organism and the environment, which is the breathing in of oxygen and the excretion of the carbon dioxide into the environment, or carbon dioxide as the IUPAC name. Now, let us talk about respiration as one of the characteristics of living things. Now, respiration helps living things to survive in the environment or in the habitat. Okay, the habitat is actually defined as a place by which an organism live or inhabit naturally, or where the organism are found. Now, the organisms that are found in diverse habitats have different respiratory process. Example, human being. Human being has lungs for respiration. Okay, so if an organism like the human enter into the sea, it will start suffocating because of the lungs is not functionable inside the sea. Okay, the reason is because of if you drink a lot of water, the lungs will not be able to extract oxygen from that water, so your cells will start suffocating. Okay, now if an organism is found in the water, the organism need another different kinds of respiration called the gills. The gills is a respiratory organ that is able to receive oxygen in form of fluid, not gas. Okay, the lungs receive it in form of gaseous state, while gills receive it in form of liquid. Okay, now let us now discuss the process of respiration in different habitats, starting from the water, which is the aquatic habitat. Before the fish will be able to receive oxygen, it will first of all go to the uppermost part of the water. Okay, because of the uppermost part of the water has more oxygen concentration more than the lower part. So as you dive into the deeper part of the sea, the oxygen concentration keeps dropping. So for the fish to be able to get oxygen, it can like is supposed to swim outside or up the water. Okay, as it reaches the uppermost part of the water, it will now swallow some water. Okay, so as it swallows some water, it will now move into the gills. As it move into the gills, it has a part of the gills called the gills raca. Raka is spelled Raker. Now, the gills raka is a form of rough part of the gills that is actually found closer to the eye and covered by a thick layer called the operculum. The operculum is the strong part of the gills. Like for instance, if you have your fish that you want to eat, mostly the tilapia fish, you will see something that looks like ear. Okay, ear. It is actually a bony structure, okay, or cartilaginous structure you can remove. As you remove them, you can find the gills. So it is called the operculum. Okay, now the operculum help to guide the gills, while the raka help to filter some dirt out of the gills, while the gills will be able to receive the dissolved oxygen. As it receives the dissolved oxygen, it will now makes the dissolved oxygen to move into the bloodstream of that fish, so that the cells and tissues of the fish will get the required oxygen. Okay, so this is actually how the fish respire. Now, in terms of other organisms that lives in other habitats. For instance, the grasshopper. The grasshopper uses spiracle. Okay, spiracle for respiration. The spiracle is seen at the abdomen. Okay, if you use your hand lens to view the abdomen of the grasshopper, you will see the tiny, tiny openings there. That tiny, tiny openings there helps for exchange of gases. Okay, so it is called the spiracle. Now, after the spiracle, inside the grasshopper, you find the trachea or trachea system. The trachea system is now where the cellular respiration is done. Okay, so that is about it. Now, at the spider scorpion, they use this lungs book. The lungs book has the ability to absorb as much oxygen as they can. That is the reason why the scorpion can be inside the soil for months without suffocation. Okay, now if you go into the earthworm, okay, earthworm uses body surface because the what do we call it? The blood vessel, okay, is closer to the uppermost tissue, and the hair pore is very, very wide, so it can use its body surface to receive oxygen. Okay, and the same thing with other smaller organisms like the protozoans and the bacteria as well. Then, if it is terms of man, man uses the nostrils. Now, after the nostrils, it uses the lungs to perform the cellular respiration. And the part of the lungs that perform the ideal cellular respiration is called the alveoli, which is the tiny part of the uh, lungs, the tiny air particle that has a thin layer. So blood comes there and there is exchange of gases through the process of diffusion. Okay, now after the cellular respiration is done, then the color of the blood changes because the blood that comes to the lungs is dark red in color. We call it um the oxy blood or oxygen without blood without oxygen, the oxygenated blood. Then that deoxygenated blood is dark red in color. As it absorbs oxygen, it changes to pink or light red in color. Okay, so that is the reason why respiration is one of the um, characteristics of living organism. Now, in plants, there is exchange of exchange of gases in the leaf of that plant. You will see them at the gut cells and the stomata. The stomata and the gut cells. The stomata has an opening called the gut cells. As human being has an opening called the hair pore, the stomata has the one we call the gut cells, which open and closes, releasing oxygen after photosynthesis is done. Okay, so this is actually the process of respiration in these uh, both plants and animals as well. Okay, so in the next video, we are going to talk about adaptation. And as we are talking about adaptation, we are also going to paraphrase how respiration also helps in adaptation. So do follow me if you're not actually following me before. Share it with your friends as well who will be interested to learn. Okay, see you in the next video.